Today on the podcast, the Riot unveils HGTV's new fall lineup.
And you're going to be excited to hear it does involve some of your favorite radio people.
It absolutely does.
Yay!
We're also going to have to talk about the MoviePass train wreck that continues to...
Man, it is a bad train wreck that keeps going.
It's like there's been a train wreck and now there are just secondary explosions happening all over.
I feel like it's a train wreck that then gets going, wrecks again, and everybody's standing there watching it.
Yeah, I will say, I do feel like everyone's rooting against it.
Well, they always were.
I know, but I've been rooting for it. Why root against it? It was a great service when it worked.
You know, everybody likes to jump on board that train when something is down.
Yeah,
it's just this train is not moving anymore.
So other things in today's podcast, stealing sharks, water is the answer. Smells.
To stealing sharks. It is the answer. You're right.
Partial answer. 24 Avengers and fat shaming a cat.
That's a good lineup for your podcast today.
So we hope that you guys enjoy it. Thanks for downloading it, and we hope you have a fantastic rest of this Tuesday.
Yes, we do.
Boy, it should be later in the week than that. It is the Riot.
Have a good day. Bye.
Awful, terrible, horrible, pathetic. Someone grab me a thesaurus. I'm gonna need more words to describe how bad these guys are. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
That's Nikki. I'm Obadiah.
Good morning.
Look for our show this fall, Dapper Crappers, coming to HGTV.
Oh, are we moving into home improvement?
Absolutely. Yesterday, I replaced a toilet seat on a toilet. So that's like a lid and a seat. And so I believe that, quite frankly, with the, what are they called? Not the Duggars, the other ones. The Chip and Joanna, with them gone.
Oh, yes. Well, there's an opening now.
With Fixer Upper gone, they are looking for an attractive male that can come in and work in your house and like do things. And so
now, do you feel like since you just changed the toilet seat only, well, the lid is too, you know, the combo,
it's together. Yeah.
Do you feel like that's enough to jumpstart like a full show? Or
well, it's personality, Nikki.
You gotta be able to tell the ones that are actually doing it.
Yeah, you gotta have a lot of personality with it. And so that's just one of those things where, you know, you can see the reality thing. They cut away like, well, they called and they were having trouble with their toilet, and so let's go in and see what's going on.
This man could, of course, help us.
Then the sound of it shutting, like, yep, it's definitely broken. And you know what? Let's head on over to Lowe's, our home discount superstore.
The sponsor for the show.
And like, let's go pick some things out. And then we show them, like, I went to Lowe's. They have like 40 toilet seats to choose from. And so we could be there like, hey, this is Becky, and Becky is our toilet seat expert. Now, Becky, you can see here that Bob weighs about 300 pounds. So we need something that's really going to equally distribute his weight, and he'll feel comfortable using the bathroom. Oh, we've got these new recliner toilets that you might want to think about. And then we go off and have that conversation like,
sure.
Hey, it's Obadiah. Listen, I know that our budget was only $40, but I think it's really going to
phone call.
It's going to make a really big difference. It's going to add a lot of really nice things to the house if we go and install a recliner toilet. Now, that's going to be $1,500.
Because normally, you know, they have a budget. When you have to go over the budget, you got to call the homeowner.
But I think it's going to add a lot of value. Plus, you're just going to really enjoy it. So what do you think?
You know, it actually feels like it could be a show.
Yeah.
It does. I don't know if it's necessarily HGTV, but surely one of the other side channels for
There's a dramatic reveal at the end where I open the bathroom door and they come in and they're like, look at this seat.
And then it closes.
It's the same one we found in the store.
The scene closes as they go to the bathroom.
Yeah, they're like, who wants to be the first one to try it? Well, I had a bran muffin for lunch, so
come on in, Bob.
All right, this is you, man. Okay, we're going to close the door, and then you come out and tell us how it goes.
Well, there's your new show coming this fall.
Telling you right now, Dapper Crappers. I'm really willing to play on the name.
That's not a for sure.
It was just a start, but I think at the very least we've got our next hit web series, though I think this thing's ready for broadcast.
The whole way. It's greenlit the whole way.
I do.
There are two types of people in this world, and neither one of them likes the Riot. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Last night, something apparently quite terrible took place in this very room.
Where Josh was able to at least take a picture of it and post it. If you join us on our RadioU Facebook page, you can see what happened.
So what was it, Nikki?
It was a dead spider, or he killed the spider. And now it's dead.
Well, according to his narrative, he was live on the air when the spider began to just go across the board like it owned the place.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And then he killed it.
I could tell we have these pots, not pot, these
It's
spots
short
on
for
the board.
Potentiometer.
We have these, sliders,
Potentiometers.
levels. Yeah, that might be the difficult word.
You don't think anybody's going to understand what a potentiometer is?
Probably not, but there are these pots that slide up and down that we use to like turn our mics on and stuff. I don't use that pot. That was 5. That's not one I touched. But he died there. I can tell.
Is there a little spot?
There's a spot anyways, I think from something with tape. So I don't know, like, Josh, did you clean the pot? Did you not? There's something there, but again, it looks like residue from something else.
You know what? There is something there. Let me tell you what. Think about this.
What?
HGTV between 8 and 9. All right? 8 to 8:30. Dapper Crappers starring The Riot. Okay? The Riot is on,
Yes.
and I'm in there swapping out toilet seats and sometimes flush handles. Josh is an exterminator. He's a DJ by night, but during the day he gets called into specialty locations to take care of various spiders.
And usually it's like involving nests of bugs.
It's perfect.
We have the whole evening set up for some sort of lucky TV network.
Now we just need some programming for Hudson or Sydney, and we could do the U block. So from 8 to 10 on like Tuesday nights.
At?
Well, see, the thing is,
I don't
Nikki,
want to be on Dapper Crappers.
I think you're the host.
Oh, I'm just the evening host of all the shows?
I do. I think you're the host. I think that you're the one that shows up in between various things and is like, hey, here's what's going on. And,
coming up later tonight.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you can talk through all the different things, and then we each have our own specialties. So like Sydney's show, it could be like a...
She likes hedgehogs. You should build something into that. Maybe we do a tie-in with Animal Planet.
Animal Rescue. All right. She rescues hedgehogs and other things.
Who
and
gets
then
stuck in toilet piping from the house stuff and needs out while they're renovating.
So we couldn't figure out what was wrong with this toilet, and then we found out that there was a hedgehog living in there.
Might only have one episode with that.
So we brought in Sydney from
the crew.
Sydney's Saves, and it's a rescue show.
All right,
Again,
well,
we're workshopping it.
It takes some time, but bad spider, he's dead.
Yeah, Josh killed a spider last night.
What did he kill it with?
I don't know. His hand?
I'm just going to say this.
Tissue?
I'm just going to say this. Okay. And this is no disrespect to anybody here. But I feel like sometimes the follow through or the cleanup process is not something that we're strong with.
I don't even know what you're talking about. How can that be?
Throw the box away. Clean up the crumbs, that sort of thing. We just don't excel in that secondary part of whatever you're doing. So if he killed the spider, did he clean up enough, or where's the item he killed it with?
Here's something I want you to think about.
I just want to know.
We're a staff of focused people.
Yeah.
So he was so focused on his show last night that he could only spare enough time to kill the spider, not clean up and detox.
Oh, that'd be not. I just want to make sure that it's not like the pin that's over here.
Well, why don't you put your nose down there and smell it? Do you smell spider guts?
I'm not smelling it anyways, even if there wasn't a spider. Well, again, RadioU.
I'm just trying to help.
On Facebook, you can see the poor spider. He got smushed. He's dead.
You don't feel bad for him.
A little bit.
My favorite part of the worst of the riot, when they shut up and the music starts. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Who's going running today? Anybody? I'm not. I didn't go. You know what? I had a little mix-up. Didn't run yesterday. Didn't lift weights yesterday. A Monday with no exercise.
Uh-oh.
Tell you what, it's a bad start. But I was probably waiting for my new running shoes to come in, the Allbirds.
Oh, yeah, I was reading about them.
Did you read this article?
I'd never heard of them before.
It makes me sound like maybe you and I are not high enough on the rung of society.
But when I heard about its description, though, I hate wool, so I don't know if I could do that.
All right, so this guy's name is Tim Brown. Apparently, he was a former footballer. And he is the co-founder and one of the designers of Allbirds. They're these running shoes that are made from wool, eucalyptus trees.
And is it bamboo or something?
This says other sustainable materials. I don't know what that means. So, sure. Bamboo.
Sounds good. Something like that.
Mm-hmm. So, apparently, all the women in Hollywood just rave about his shoes.
They're supposed to be very comfortable, and they're expensive, but as far as like running shoes go, they're not that bad. It's like $140.
Well, it's 140 Australian. So
what's that? US.
Australian to US dollars. Let's see.
Anybody know how to convert that faster?
That would be $103 US.
That's even better.
That actually...
That's it for running shoes again, workout stuff. That's actually kind of reasonable.
I feel like I pay about $50 for a pair of running shoes because I buy cheap Nike running shoes.
You buy the last year's model.
But they work, and you go to the outlet, and in the back, shamefully, digging through the leftovers of others.
Of anything that might work for your next workout.
And every year I come out with a decent pair of shoes. So they say that these are just wonderful. Here's what I can't find out is reading through the article, I can't find anyone that actually runs in them. I have found a lot of Hollywood people that love standing there in them.
But not necessarily working out.
That they like to take selfies and or footies. And it's like, here's my feet in these comfortable shoes. Yes. Could you show me a picture of you soaking wet with sweat after a 5-mile run in them? And tell me how your feet feel after that.
Picture-wise, that doesn't really work. It doesn't mean they're not actually working out in them, but you would not document that side of it.
Emma Watson says, they feel like slippers, but I also wear them to the gym.
Okay,
That's
again.
still not running.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I wear things to the gym, and then I change out of them and put on different shoes when I go into the gym.
Are they,
but I wore these to the gym.
Are there guys' ones?
I only see girls' ones. So, like, and all the pictures are girls. Though, in fairness, you know what? Like
Marketing.
Marketing. So, I mean, here you've got Emma Watson, Jennifer Garner, Whitney Port, and Mila Kunis all wearing these shoes.
And they're called Allbirds?
Allbirds.
What if you had that, and then what's your earbuds, the Jaybirds?
I'm all birded out.
Your whole entire workout where it's like, if it doesn't have bird in it, I'm not wearing it.
So do you think like Allbirds, is it just a women's line? Wasn't that like in the 50s? Wasn't that slang that you would call a girl a bird?
Maybe.
And then that's where chicks came from.
Oh, yeah. And then that.
Because they were young girls.
Sure.
So
that led to the term.
No, look, men, women, kids. So, yes, they do have men's shoes there. And by the way, I don't know if that was a derogatory term. So I wasn't alive then. What was that movie I watched? I don't know, but it was set in the 50s, and that was like...
That was a term in it.
Mm-hmm. So, we got wool runners, wool loungers, tree runners.
I hate wool.
Tree loungers, tree skippers. What's a tree runner? All right, I'm looking into this some more. They don't look like they have enough to support, a bigger person. If you know anybody like that.
The Riot with Obadiah.
Them honey buns and Cheetos done caught up with it.
The Riot with Nikki.
Yeah, she's a liar, because I don't know her. So whatever she says is a lie, so...
The Riot, RadioU.
Always seeking a new and better breakfast. That's one of the things that makes this country great. Really, it does. And that's why we have to pay homage to great Americans like the people at Dunkin Donuts. Now, these are great Americans.
Seems like it with their choice today.
Because what they've done is it's so ridiculous. They're like, hey, what are the two things that Obadiah likes? Well, he likes chicken fingers and he likes donuts. Okay, now go with me for a minute. What do you think about a chicken finger donut? Perfect! And that's exactly it's mostly what Dunkin' Donuts has done. Here's their idea.
They've changed it a bit.
They've got chicken tenders dipped in waffle batter and then deep fried.
So it's a waffle breaded chicken tender. So is that just during their lunch? I've never had Dunkin' outside of a breakfast time.
I don't think I've ever eaten anything from Dunkin' Donuts that was not
We've
coffee.
Had a breakfast sandwich.
Have we?
Yeah.
When did we do that?
I just remember something in Pennsylvania.
Okay, that's probably true.
We're like, let's get a breakfast sandwich.
I'll see and recognize that.
All right, you're going to take that, but it's been a while.
Yeah, it definitely has been a while.
We're in the room for the good portion of the breakfast time.
It's true.
So they are not one who opens early enough for us to have too often.
So it says they haven't done much with fried chicken in the past, though they did do a chicken bacon sandwich and a snack and go wrap. The only thing that bums me about these is you got the waffle breaded chicken tenders from Dunkin' Donuts, which is coated in sweet waffle batter.
Ooh, say it again.
And then deep fried.
Ooh.
But what? Did you know that cookie dough and waffle? Popeyes
No, that's
did it.
Popeyes? What's that?
Popeyes did a cookie dough battered chicken tender? What?
I don't know about that.
All right, we have to get to Googling on
Popeyes
that.
cookie dough.
But the thing that gets me is that it's not like it's being fresh fried. Like these are coming frozen.
It
so
might.
it's like
Sometimes what they do is it is frozen and then they do it a second fry.
right, but it's just not.
It'll be good enough.
You think so?
It would just be good enough.
Well, they're launching those $2. Like is what that'll cost. $2 for 2 tenders. But you can stack multiple orders. So if you wanted 4 tenders, $4.
Yeah, all right. So I'm reading about the Popeye thing that was last year, like a year ago.
Okay, how did we miss that?
We're not in on the Popeye stuff as often.
But there's a Popeyes around here.
There is. Some of them did close, but that's just...
There was one that was open for 3 days.
Literally 3 days.
Not even making a joke.
Popeyes launched, it was a sweet and crunchy chicken tender, or just tenders, where the chickens were coated in shortbread cookie dough. Jeez, that sounds so good. Nope, just click away. Just fine. Can't get
Nikki,
it, so don't bother.
At this point, you're low enough on carbs that moldy bread's looking good to you.
It just looks delicious, doesn't it?
Like, we'll just drop the mold off a little bit.
All right, it's...
Nikki needs her num-nums.
It's available, the waffle-breaded chicken tenders, and that's Dunkin Donuts.
I want to try that. Like, all jokes aside, a waffle-battered chicken finger.
Hey, so this involves their new menu, their run menu, which includes...
It's food that you're going to have to run in order to be able to eat it.
Pretzel bites with mustard, ham and cheese roll-ups, a gluten-free fudge brownie, and donut fries.
That is some of the fattest-sounding food.
There's no way to health it up, is there?
No, they're like, yeah, but this one here is gluten-free, so that's healthy, right?
It is still the fudge brownie, but...
You don't worry about that.
All right, yeah, we're just going to close out that and not worry about it.
I want the chicken tenders dipped in waffle batter. I'll have one of those, please. Actually, make it 2.
You could be learning jujitsu right now, or how to drive a race car, or do anything productive with your life, but no. You're listening to the worst of the riot on RadioU.
It's happening, guys. MoviePass is crashing and burning, all right?
It's just, now it's a hot mess, and it's like dying, and it's embarrassing.
It's so bad.
Is that your flames?
Yeah, it is. So here's what has happened is... So on Friday, MoviePass had what they called a network outage. It actually started Thursday night and ran through most of Friday.
You could go on the app, but you just couldn't get tickets for anything.
Couldn't get tickets for anything.
And they called it, at least when I was looking on their Twitter and stuff, they were like, well, it seems like we have a problem. We're working on it. When really, now everybody just says they did not have any money for the tickets.
So the company borrowed $5 million so that they could,
from?
I don't know, so they could... restore service. Well, here's the problem. They're having all this trouble in the summer because these are big movie weekends. So the problem is you're using the service you're paying for. That's the problem. So what I saw a couple of things yesterday. The first one was they had an emergency meeting yesterday in which they basically announced that you would no longer be able to see new movies on the weekend they opened.
It's like they can't keep pulling this thing back more. So you couldn't go see like Mission Impossible on the weekend this past weekend when it was opening.
No, can't do that. We're not going to be able to do that, Nikki. I'm sorry.
But that's what you were supposed to do.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah, that's what you signed up for them to do.
But that's not going to work.
And that would just be one of the many, major openings for it. They would no longer offer tickets for.
Right. And then last night, basically everyone on Twitter was saying that they were trying to use MoviePass, and MoviePass, every theater they went to just showed the theater as having no showings available. AKA
sticking their head in the sand.
They're like, yeah,
what?
Did you guys know there are no movies?
What? There's nothing wrong with our service. It's them.
The movies have ended. No more movies.
They're just out of money. They don't have anything. Just cancel the service.
Yeah, it's over. So while I was talking, Nick is a MoviePass member. He canceled his yesterday because he couldn't use it.
Sure.
And I think I'm going to go out.
Just do it.
I am. I'm going to do it. I'm going to cancel
it.
I mean, this might sound dumb, and I'm not saying they would do this, but I have this fear that they're just going to randomly charge my card for I don't even know what.
Well, that was my question of like, when is your
I don't know.
month date thing that they run your card? Because you don't want to get anywhere near that.
I don't know. So I'm going to do that.
Because good luck getting that money back if they run it again.
Yeah, never. It would never happen. So, you know what? Part of me is really sad because for real, guys, I knew it wouldn't last. It's the reason why I did not buy a 1-year card, because it was way cheaper. I paid $10 a month, and they had a thing where they were like, hey, for like $80 you could get in for an entire year. And I almost did that, and I was like, bro, this is not going to make it a year.
This is a business model that cannot sustain itself.
This thing will never go a year, go monthly. So I didn't think it would make it through March or April. So, man, when I first got mine back in January, I used the crap out of it. I was just like, movie. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but
it was.
It
was fun.
I know, and you really liked MoviePass.
I did. I loved it.
What MoviePass has become, because that's worthless. But
that's the part that hurts my heart, is like the really great time I had with my MoviePass.
Yeah,
it's over
remember
now.
those weeks when you would go see a couple of movies?
I do.
You got like a little card for it. It was just nice.
It was great.
Well, I'm sorry. You don't have the card in your wallet anymore, do you?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
You know what they say?
What?
To really have healing and closure.
Well, we got to cut it up?
You're supposed to cut it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we will. I just got to, let's cancel
just not
it
ready
first.
yet.
And quite frankly, if I have 2 or 3 weeks left on it after I cancel it, I'm going to use it.
For what?
If I
What
can.
are you going to see?
Well, if they open it up, I haven't seen Jurassic World yet.
Is that old enough?
Maybe. I haven't seen The Equalizer yet.
You should be like, well, MoviePass will only give you tickets to a movie that's still out in theaters for some reason, but also digitally already available.
You can see Justice League with your MoviePass. Sweet.
Food fights, band interviews, Twitter fights. How else would you want to start your morning?
I feel traumatized, bruh. And now I'm tweeting about you, bruh. And now you're trending, bruh. And now your life is ruined, bruh. And now you're fired, bruh.
It's the Riot on RadioU.
Hey, it's about to get a lot harder to do Christmas around here. Have you guys... I buy video games for Christmas. That's what I want. And my birthday, which is coming up on September 21st. That's what I like to get. I like to get video games. And it bothers me.
Why does it bother you?
Well, it bothers me that I'm not more like other people. Like, for example, like on Sunday, I was listening to a friend of mine talk, and he was like, you know, nothing makes me feel more relaxed than going out in the boat. So, like, he has a boat, and he's like,
that's his thing.
During the summer, I try to go out in the boat once a week and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, that sounds so great. And then I was looking at Eric. Eric's like woodworking and pouring concrete and all this stuff, and he's buying stuff for that. And I'm just like, man, you know what? Spider-Man's gone gold.
There's a new game out.
And I want to be like other people, but I'm just not.
But
I'm
trying
to be like other people.
You don't need to, because what if they're going, man, Obi's got
Nikki.
a great game.
No.
It's hard to go back and say it that way, isn't it?
You can't.
But it doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just we all like different things.
I know, but it bothers me that I'm not a real man. This is some real
You're
talk.
the one putting that thing around it.
No, it's real men make things. And I'm just like, here, I'm a consumer.
You're winning achievement points.
Yes, I am. And that's something. That's
you
something.
Take those in for anything.
Oh, wait a minute. I installed a toilet seat last night.
Hello.
I forgot. I mean, it's been an hour, and I've already forgot about Dapper Crappers. So, look, I was looking here. You know, Best Buy is canceling their...
Nothing can stay.
Their Gamers Club Unlocked program, which is a huge bummer because it was like I got 20% off new games, and I got points, and I was always getting these $5 gift cards, and then you could get these $10 off things. And so I had a real system going.
Yeah.
And they're shutting it down. So in October of this year, it goes away and I'm done. And I actually thought, I was like, well, you know, GameStop has a program that is very similar to the Best Buy one called the Elite Pro thing. And I thought, well, maybe I'll go over there. I'll sign up for that and I'll start working my scams and my system over in the GameStop ecosystem. You know what they announced this morning? No more GameStop Elite Pro memberships, Nikki.
You can't have anything nice,
They're
can
shutting
you?
it down.
Boy, every program Obi's involved in, it's like the kiss of death.
I am the kiss of death. MoviePass, dead.
Bye-bye.
Gamers Club Unlocked,
No
dead.
more.
He was thinking about being an Elite Pro member. Done.
Nope, it was even ahead of time.
The last thing you want is me to take an interest in whatever you're doing. It's the last
I'm
thing
so
that you
sorry.
want.
It really is true.
I am
You're
the
not supposed to
worst.
normally have a complex about things and like think that, but it is kind of scary.
The evidence is overwhelming.
Starting your day with the worst of the riot is a great idea because it's guaranteed to get better from here. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Look, inside all of us is some sort of a genetic inborn drive to have a little baby. Which is why when you see somebody pushing a baby stroller, you're just like, whatever.
Oh, it just is normal, especially if you're at like the aquarium.
You know, where
Families
families
go.
go and stuff. But what you may not know is in that baby stroller, there might be
In a bucket.
there might be wrapped in swaddling clothes and laying in the back a baby shark.
This poor shark's it's going through a lot.
A land shark. So there were 3 people in San Antonio over the weekend that went to the San Antonio Aquarium
Saturday afternoon
and they stole a shark.
from one of the displays.
So you know how they'll have a thing set up where it's like, you can pet the shark.
It's like a tide pool sort of thing. Like it's
Yeah.
a little baby shark. It's not a big one, but it's large enough.
I did that at Kosai once.
Yeah.
You could pet the baby shark.
And it's there. And so what you see on the security footage is
The guy goes up and literally just picks the shark up and wraps it in a blanket.
It's a wet blanket.
And pretends like it's a baby.
then he puts it in the, they walk out, they put it in the stroller. And in the stroller is a bucket, and then there's footage of them going all the way to their cars. So now they're trying to figure out and find these people who took the baby shark.
So one of the employees spotted the theft and confronted them, ran to tell management, and then ran out and confronted them in the parking lot. Then in the parking lot, they, he's like, my kid's sick, I have to go. And he just jumped in his car or
left.
truck and drove off. Well, they've got footage of this everywhere. So they track down the guy with the truck. They get the shark back. They get the
they got
bucket.
the shark
Yeah, they got it
back.
back.
Yay!
Well, what they haven't been able to do is track down his accomplices. They
He's not
say,
telling on him.
I don't know. Details are a little sketchy. They haven't released any names, but there was 3 of them. There was him and another man and woman that were a part of stealing the shark and putting it in the baby carriage. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes the shark in a baby carriage. Sucking his thumb.
A little different.
You know what? Nikki, everybody's going to do things differently.
The song is just different. It's your interpretation of it.
So, chewing your thumb, peeing your... No, that's not it. Trying to do the hula dance? No.
They say the shark is still alive, but they didn't expect it to be based on the shock of, the wet blanket, the bucket, the stroller, the chase, all that stuff. But
Oh, you know what? Don't be such a
allegedly
baby
he's-
about the shark. It gets out of the water, it gets a blanket.
Well, it does shock its system, and they were worried about it because they took, they said
Yeah,
they
the
took
bucket had bleach in it.
It previously had held a bleach solution, and that could have shocked the shark.
Yeah.
Talk about a game show name right there. Shock the
shark!
Oh!
So here's the premise of the game, okay? You keep, every time you get a question wrong,
Come on, player one.
they put an electric shock on the shark. And then if you miss enough questions, they put you in the tank with the shark who knows that you've been shocking it.
Obadiah, player one. Where are you from? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, my name's Obadiah. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I have a deathly fear of sharks, so I'm going to miss a couple of questions just to watch it fry.
Are you ready to shock the shark?
Let's take a look at the first category. Products destroyed by you. Oh, I might be good at that one.
Wait.
So.
MoviePass.
Crap.
So the shark is okay.
So far.
So far, they're not going to say, though.
They're observing it. And let's be clear. They put more work into someone could steal you. They would
No
put
one's
this
caring.
They wouldn't put
They
this kind
have
of work
to
into
wait.
finding you.
Don't they have to wait so long till everybody starts doing something? Here at the San Antonio Aquarium, they were right on that
Right
shark.
away. Okay, somebody save this shark.
I am a little worried.
They are
I care more.
They're still looking for a man and woman in San Antonio. So if you see some people that look like they're carrying a wet shark blanket, please notify the police.
And they're saying, I miss my baby.
Where did it go?
There are pros and cons to everything in life, except for the riot. Here, it's no pros and all. It's the riot on RadioU.
I've been catching up on this James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, which I'm not going to get into all the details, but if you haven't been following it, it goes like this. Basically, 8, 9, 10 years ago on Twitter, he had something in the neighborhood of 3,000 tweets that made just a ton of inappropriate jokes, like bad stuff.
Yes, and then he'd been vocal about that, like it wasn't a secret or anything.
Right.
But as he's made fame, and
right.
he did the 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Mm-hmm. Those are probably his 2 biggest ones.
Yes.
And was set to do the 3rd one.
So Disney fired him after those things kind of became... It's not
they
that
just
they
come back out again.
Yes. It's like somebody basically found them, started making a big fuss. It became a bigger deal. And there's so many things that we could talk about here. Disney also owns ABC. They fired Roseanne. There's all of these ins and outs to look at. But the thing that has interested me is looking at the letter that came out yesterday that was signed by the entire cast of Guardians of the Galaxy, and then some tweets that came from Chris Pratt. And one of the things that he said that I've thought about a lot is he basically said, look, I'm not saying that what he did was okay, but I am saying that's not really who he is today. Like, there's a change there. Like, we can move past this. And if you look at the letter, I think there's a lot of interesting things in the letter. And again, I still don't know what to think about it. I've still been kind of thinking about it, processing it, and I don't know. But I do know this one thing that I was looking at it, that this is, I see some echoes of the way that God deals with us. Because here's the thing, Jesus knows your past. All right? He knows it. Like, it's on display. God knows whatever you've done. And the funny thing is, there's probably some stuff, like James Gunn was out there tweeting publicly. You've got stuff that you've managed to keep
private that you thought.
Maybe in the background, but nobody really knows about it. And everything, as far as God's concerned, you're an open book. Like, he knows it all. And it could be that everybody in the world thinks you're the best, but you know that you've got stuff that, like, man, I hope nobody finds out about this. I hope nobody, whatever that. Here's the thing. God sees it all, and he is willing to look at it and go, hey, I don't endorse it. What you did was wrong, but I love you today. I am willing to forgive you today, right now. A fresh start, a new beginning. And that is the essence of where God wants us to start. It's just owning the fact of, like, you know what? There are things I've done. I wish I hadn't done them. I regret them. They were wrong, and I'm sorry. And I need to be forgiven. And you know what? God wants to offer you that forgiveness, and he wants to offer you a fresh start, a place to change. And it may be a matter of, you could be in the middle of it right now. I'm telling you right now that you don't have to have changed for God to forgive you. I'm telling you that the first step in making the change could be right here, saying, God, I need to be forgiven, and then letting God come in and begin to make some change in your life. So, look, I don't know you. I don't know where you've been. I know where I've been. I know the things God has forgiven me for. I know that in some cases, God has had to forgive me again and again, because it's been like, hey, I'm trying to get this right, but I still haven't gotten it right. But God has worked with me, and I've seen change in my own life, and I know that change can come in your life too if you want it. Start right here by starting a relationship with God and say, Jesus, I want that. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I need to be forgiven, and I know that change needs to happen. Let's start that change. Show me how. And God absolutely will. And unlike a lot of people, God will not bring up your past to you.
Yes, it's a clean slate.
Yeah, you might be you could be 10 years into this, and somebody will be like, look what you did 10 years ago. That's not who God is. God forgives people, forgets.
We thought about selling the worst of the riot. But let's be honest, no one is buying this stuff. Get it for free on the RadioU app.
Nikki, are you having a hard time concentrating?
Well, don't we all during these morning hours?
Do you find yourself at times with your mind wandering and you're just having a hard time paying attention?
Actually, normally, honestly, no. I don't tend to have my thoughts just drift, but every so often, yeah, I think everybody has that.
You could be mildly dehydrated.
Could I?
I feel like Nikki and I read a bunch of really dumb articles, but I feel like the new hotness in articles is it's always exercise. They're like, can't pay attention, you need to exercise. Overweight, need to exercise. Underweight, need to exercise. Can't sleep, you need to exercise. It's just on and on and on. It's like their magic pill cure for everything.
And I feel like with articles and stuff, they have a certain quota in the health section that they need to meet every week or something. And so they just bring out new stories and they just tag on different lines to it. Like, all right, well, we're going to go with now water for everything.
Water, yes.
Water's the new thing.
That's the new thing, at least for this week, where they're like, okay, you got to be getting a lot of exercise. Well, now that you're getting all that exercise, you need a lot of water.
And maybe water was the fix for all of it.
You need so much water. Do you feel hungry? You're probably thirsty.
I will say, I don't think everybody drinks as much water as we probably should.
Okay.
Even if you say, well, soda has water in it, it doesn't count.
Well, I do agree with you. What do they say for water? It's like you take
it's way more than you're supposed to, than we're having.
The thing I heard was take your body weight and divide it in half. And
your
that's
real body weight. Not
the weight you pretend to be?
Not the front one.
Okay. So your actual body weight, and then you divide it in half, and that's how many ounces of water you should be drinking every day. That's what I heard. But, I mean, who really knows?
So they say, though, you could be dehydrated, which might be causing the problems.
That's why you're having a hard time focusing. I got a news flash. After the show, Nikki and I have to go into these meetings, and, I'm taking water, coffee, whatever, and people start out there like, we need to focus on the blah, 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 and I'm like, dun, 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 dun. What?
It's just very hard to focus.
There's a bird in the window. Look, a bird.
No, okay. In our office meeting area, there are birds outside the windows all the time.
I know.
That's their little nest area.
And then you start wondering, does the bird think about being a bird?
Does the bird look in and see us and be like, what are they doing in there?
Are they having a meeting out there and one of them is staring inside like, look, a person?
A human's in there.
What are they doing in there?
It just means we're dehydrated.
I'm dehydrated. Okay. Well, all right. Here I am. I've had 16, so I'm at about 32 ounces of water. Plus, I've had coffee. I got to keep drinking.
Keep going. You're not done yet.
What if we just brought the hose in here and I'll just...
I hate hose water. I don't want that.
What's wrong, Nikki?
You think that's good water?
Sure.
No, it's not.
Whatever.
Then drink out of the toilet, why don't you?
I mean, well, the tank, sure.
The tank of it?
I'm not going to drink out of the bowl.
Do you know how that would freak someone out if you had your reusable, your bottle that you used, and then they're like, yeah, I'm just going to grab some water, I'll be right back.
Just
and
dunk
then
it in the tank and
they
drink it.
hear you open the top of the tank and dunk it in. That's almost worth to do as a joke with somebody.
Kind of like that time I told...
That wasn't funny.
It was funny. Nikki was like, hey, get me a bottle of water. And so
I asked you to fill up my bottle. Remember you took my bottle
that's what
in there?
Was.
And you were going in there and I said, hey, could you fill mine up with water too?
And I did. And I was like,
because we're friends and that's what friends do for each other.
So I brought it back and I set it down and I said, did you know that your bottle will fit in the toilet?
I can't drink it because I just didn't know. Well, the other time then you brought it and you dropped like a cranberry or something in it. Do you remember that?
I do.
I was like, what's in my water? But we need more of it because we're dehydrated.
I really need some water because I'm very dehydrated. I can't even focus right now.
I can't concentrate.
The Riot has a problem with authority.
It's a little rule. Maybe you're not familiar with it. Nobody tells me what to do, ever.
Oh, it's the most wonderful time of the year, guys.
Christmas in July.
Well, for one more day.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it'll be August. Let's have a good attitude, Nikki. Come on. What's that about? What was that tone?
Nikki? It's going to be what we make it. So right now, let's you and I pledge to have the best January of the summer ever.
The best August ever? Did you get coffee? Or did you make peanut butter? Because you smell like something. Wait. You brought it in with you. You made coffee, didn't you?
Yeah?
Okay.
Is that wrong?
No, I was trying to figure out what the smell is. It's something.
Walked in and there was a stench. I don't know what it is, but you stink.
I want you to go back out there and come back and try it again.
Why don't you take a freaking shower sometimes?
No, it just
Think about your coworkers.
There is a smell. It's not a bad one. It's just, I couldn't tell what it was.
Nikki, I would like for a moment, let's play the game where we switch words around, okay?
Sure.
So if you walked into the studio and I was like, there is a smell. I don't know what it is, but there is a smell.
I'd probably cry.
Okay.
But you're tougher than me. You can handle it.
Okay, now
and
here we go.
you're coming in here all peanut buttery and coffee, and
I haven't had any peanut butter.
No, you just smell like it. It's your skin.
No, it's in your head. It's in your head.
It's like association with it.
You're like, there's Obadiah. I smell nut butter.
Because I seen your toast in the break room. I know it's coming.
Yeah, that's right. When the show's over, I'm going to have toast.
Okay.
I'm going to. Nikki's like, she's like, you eat the forbidden fruit. Who is this man who has bread?
Bread in here, and I just look at it all flaunting it on the break room table.
How dare he have bread before me?
Okay, well, what coffee are you drinking? It has a different smell than your normal stuff.
It's not my normal stuff. This is.
So that's why I noticed it.
I think it's just Dunkin Donuts.
Is it?
I think
so. We haven't been using that in a while.
Zach made it.
Zach makes a rough cup of coffee. It's
He
usually
does.
more intense.
So there's some creamer in it, which is also something I only put creamer in our hot coffee in the break room.
Yeah.
Because I can't take it.
Maybe it's the creamer I smell too.
It could be. I made cold brew yesterday. I can't remember his name, but it was a guy that went to, was it Guatemala? Somewhere in South America.
Yeah,
and he brought coffee back for us.
back.
And I brewed the last of that in a cold brew yesterday. And, we've gotten so far off topic, we must be
What
dehydrated.
topic?
We must be dehydrated.
Drink up. Well, I think Christmas in July was the topic. So it's okay. It's all right.
It's fine. But guys, you got to understand.
It's just that smell.
There's a smell. Obadiah came in and there's a smell. But it's fine.
Just wanted to know what it was.
Oh, doesn't it make you want to be with family? Doesn't it make you want to be with family?
Oh, it's fine.
Oh, the holidays.
It's fine. Do you have a lid on your coffee? I mean, it's just so strong.
No, we don't have lids in the break room.
There
Okay.
are lids. They're in there next to the coffee cups. This whole time we have lids.
What?
There's lids in there.
Wealth untold.
There's a whole stack of them.
We can't afford those.
There's way more because no one knows they're in there, so they're not using them.
I've never used. I did not know we had lids.
Guess what? Guess what it is? It's a Christmas
miracle.
miracle.
It is.
Oh,
It's a miracle.
Oh, thank you, Christmas in July, Santa.
Anybody else wish they could get the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds back?
Just because we have a clock counter and we can tell how long doesn't mean you have to be specific with how long we rambled.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the RadioU app.
You remember 24, Nikki?
Yeah, even though what was the person or who took over last year?
Was
it a character or?
There was 24 Legacy, which starred Corey Hawkins as Eric Carter.
So there's no Jack Bauer, though.
There was
that
not.
Was the older 24?
And it was pretty weird if you watched it because it was essentially exactly 24. I kind of went into 24 Legacy hoping that they would kind of change it up and it would feel a little different. And it literally felt exactly like 24 with just a different character.
Maybe they were hoping that it would do well enough, though, that character could be the new Jack Bauer.
I'm sure that there was a hope that was true. But even though it did okay for them, as far as I know, there are no plans for it to continue. However, Nikki, if you wanted to have 24 again...
What would you do?
What if you did a 24, wait for it, prequel?
Okay. I guess that's fine.
I'm going to need a little more than that.
Enthusiasm. Prequels are not as exciting because I know the outcome, for the stuff.
Yeah,
so
but,
I don't need to know how it got started. What?
Don't you want to know how...
No, I don't need to because I already know the outcome.
What about like Taken? All right, what if we find out what Liam Neeson's character was like before he was the Liam Neeson character?
Nah.
We'll put it on NBC.
Is that what they did for the TV show?
Mm-hmm.
I never watched that either.
Well, me either, but... And I think they canceled it.
So they're going to do a prequel, though, to 24?
That's the plan. So a 24 prequel.
12?
High five. Right here. Good one.
Thank you.
Good one, Nikki.
Brought to you by Fox.
Dun, dun, dun. So, no, they haven't said, but the idea would be that, of course, it would be a new actor because it would be a young Jack Bauer.
Yeah, they're doing everything but having Keith or Sutherland on it.
Right. And Here's my hope. Here's something that I would like for them to do, but I felt this way about Kiefer Sutherland in Actual 24. I think they should abandon the format. I think it has to be
24-hour thing.
I think the whole gimmick for 24 is that it happened in real time, and I think that played great for a little while, but I feel like it limits their options so much that they should really consider something else. Like, go ahead, tell that story, tell that character, but don't do it in real time.
Sure.
Because after a while, you're like, okay, how does he get across town so fast? And when do they go to the bathroom?
It's not as believable.
Yeah, like maybe they could come up with a different way to do it.
Are you listening, Fox, or whoever has the company that does the show?
It's not going to happen. So, but they do say the original producers and writers are the ones that are shopping the concept. So that sounds like something that'll probably end up happening.
Then you might watch an episode.
Yeah, what did I do with 24 Legacy? I think there were 2 nights, 2 episodes, and I watched that first 4 hours, and then I was done.
We searched for something positive to say about the riot and finally came up with one word. Consistent. Consistently terrible, but still consistent. RadioU.
This picture is hilarious. It is the fattest cat I've ever seen. It doesn't even seem real.
When you look at it, you're like, I wonder if it's a different perspective, like if it's just making him look bigger. But then when you watch the video of it, he's a very big cat.
A lot of people call him the real-life Garfield. His name is Bronson. He's a 3-year-old cat, and he weighs 33 pounds.
You might not be a cat person. You're like, what's the big deal? That is a lot for a cat, especially when he's 3 years old.
That's
supposed to be his fit time.
That gave him a 32-inch waist. A 32-inch. Think about that on a cat. You're like, man, I killed for a 32-inch. Cat.
He has it, though.
A cat.
So apparently his owner passed away, it looks like, and someone then had taken him.
What, do you think the cat ate the owner?
No, I don't think so, but
it's not it.
I don't know about the owner like that. That's overfeeding the cat. So then someone had dropped into the West Michigan Humane Society in May, and so he is now with a foster-like family for the cat, and he is on a diet.
I bet he loves it, too.
He's like, wait, what's going on?
I'm sure he really enjoys what's happening to him.
Aww.
He's on Instagram. He's got like 60,000 followers. And so they've put him on a low-fat, grain-free. You know what that is? He's keto now.
He's keto cat.
He's keto. Low-fat, grain-free. Well, I guess keto, you get plenty of fat. So he's something else.
Well, yeah, but the grain-free part.
Oh, he's just like, man, I would kill for a sandwich.
Like, what's going on, guys?
I'm starving right now.
Aw, but Bronson is, he's losing weight. Good for him. It would be a shame if he checked back in and the cat's lost more weight than you have on your diet.
Yeah, but Nikki, that's not fair because he has more weight to lose.
Yeah, well, he has 375 calories every day. That's his restricted diet. And then he'll do hydrotherapy treatments. That's like, water exercise. He's doing better than us. He's got more resources than we do.
I was going to say, he has got a dedicated team that is trying to help him reach his goals. And you're out there like, man, I
just can't lose the weight.
I don't know what to do.
He has lost an incredible 1.5 pounds since May, which is, for a cat, a lot. They say he has no more kibble addiction and he likes his low-calorie food.
How do they know he doesn't have a kibble addiction? How do they know he doesn't wake up in the night with a cold sweat dreaming about kibble?
Well, usually they're vocal about, like, my cat Panda, he had gotten, because of my other cat, some special, like, gourmet food, which is usually very higher in fat.
Yeah.
Well, that train ended, and so he doesn't get to have any more. And, man, he will, at nighttime, you'll just hear him talk and talk and talk.
He's hungry.
Because he's hungry, but he won't eat the normal cat food. He actually started eating the dog food out of like spite, and then he wanted the gourmet food.
Yeah, well.
So they'll tell you if they're unhappy.
It's like that time when we locked Nikki in the bathroom and told her to just drink from the toilet. And she's like, I refuse.
Yeah, you heard a lot of meowing that day, right?
Well, what you didn't say that she was meowing. You said it was all this talking. was your Nikki in there
like
talking.
Cat talking. That is still meowing.
Mm-hmm.
So Bronson on Instagram and stuff will be updating his weight loss.
Man, Bronson wants to call your cat and be like, I would kill for that kibble you get, okay? I would kill for it right now. You know what they're feeding me?
11 pounds compared to 33. So that's a lot of cat weight to lose.
You just did a cat fat shame.
Yeah, my cat's not fat like that.
You just cat fat shamed right there. I saw it. You did it.
I don't know what you think. If my cat's fat, he's not.
You just fat shamed a cat. Super mature, Nikki.
You know what?
Super mature.
As the owner of Panda, I'll stand up for him.
No, you know what? You don't stand up for Panda by putting down Bronson, okay? The kind of, like, you are setting a bad example.
Different.
You're
totally
setting a bad
levels.
example.
The Riot spent their entire advertising and promotion budget on catering and craft services.
The junk that guy eats has finally caught up with me.
So please tell your friends. It's The Riot on RadioU.
Well, today's kind of a thing. I didn't even realize this. Remember Avengers Infinity War?
Yeah.
And how it made like $100 bajillion?
Yes, though that might not be the official number.
Okay, maybe it's not the official number. Okay. But it's out today.
Like digital or like everything?
Digital. So you can't pick up the Blu-ray or the DVD or the 4K, whatever, but you can get it digitally today.
I remember that it was coming soon because Vudu was like, oh, you have $3 that you never knew about, wink, wink, which you could use for this movie, which is coming out. And
I do have $3. I also have a $3
They gave everybody $3.
No, it was just us.
No, it wasn't just us.
It was just us.
It wasn't us, and I wasn't falling for it because I know the movie is not just $3.
I cannot believe you would suggest that.
When I got that email, I was like, I don't think I have $3 credit. They're like, oh, yeah, you had it the whole time.
You've got it. You're good for it. Okay, so I was looking here. Like you said, Vudu, you've got $20 or $25, depending on what resolution you
would like it to be.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So what do you think? You're gonna
I haven't seen it yet. And I didn't see the first one, so I don't quite feel like I'm ready yet to purchase it until.
You've got a lot of work to do.
I do, yeah. I got bored of some of the Marvel movies.
Oh, here it comes.
I liked Doctor Strange, though. That was good. But
tell them why you liked it.
Well, I was just watching that one night. It was on Netflix.
Because she likes Benedict Cumberbatch, Cabbage Patch, whatever.
Actually, no, not really.
She likes Thor's big arms.
Okay, I did watch Thor.
And his long flowing locks.
I will watch Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy. That's it.
But all those characters are in this movie.
Yeah, I guess. But it's just so much. So much. So very, very much. Why are you looking at me like that? It's just too much to watch. I don't want to.
Is it hard to imagine the disappointment in my eyes?
Why? Because they can hear it in your voice.
Can you guys see it right now?
Isn't it enough that I've seen some of the Marvel movies?
Isn't it enough
that I'm glad that I've seen some?
Sometimes I'm there for you?
Yes.
Isn't it enough that every once in a while I'm, I come for Christmas and Easter? Isn't it enough?
Isn't that all you can really ask of me?
I mean, come on, guys.
That's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Only coming for Christmas and Easter.
You know what I feel like I need to do? I feel like we need to have a dual threat where you and I sit down and we do Thor Ragnarok, and then we take a little break and we grill up some meat for you, and we make you a bowl of meat that you can eat. Well, you can't have popcorn, but you can have a meat bowl.
Sure.
And then we'll watch Avengers Infinity War.
Well, don't I need to watch everything else I've missed? I feel like I should catch up.
I feel like if we watch Ragnarok and some Infinity War with a little bit of backfill.
Will you give me like a diagram or something so I know?
Sure.
That way I'm in order.
Sure. You probably would have liked Spider-Man Homecoming. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Okay. I'll put that on the list, too.
Okay.
It's a long and lengthy list.
Nikki, it's a movie about a boy falling in love with a girl, and it ends up at a high school dance.
Spiders, though.
I don't think you actually see any actual spiders.
Is there any web stuff? Then I'm
like he shoots
about that. I don't like it. He's not my favorite character.
Okay, here we go. Fine.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Something I like to do is go to the bathroom when I get home.